Intro. Welcome back to our channel Spiritual Meanings, where we explore the hidden truths of life, spirit, and energy. We're on a mission to reach 3,000 subscribers, and I just want to pause and thank you for all the comments, support, and wisdom you've been sharing. This channel wouldn't be growing without you. Today we're diving into something powerful, the spiritual meaning of guilt, and how to recognize the red flags and green flags that show whether guilt is guiding you or controlling you. Section 1. The hidden weight of guilt. Guilt isn't always bad. It can be a spiritual compass pointing us back to truth. But when it lingers, it becomes toxic. The first red flag is heaviness. You feel chained, drained, like your heart chakra is carrying a weight it can't put down. The green flag. When guilt sparks growth, not shame. When it nudges you to realign instead of punishing you endlessly. Section 2. Guilt in relationships. In love, guilt reveals a lot. A red flag is when someone constantly flips guilt onto you, calling you paranoid, insecure, or controlling instead of owning their actions. That's projection. A green flag is when a partner takes accountability, saying, "Yes, I see where I went wrong. Let's fix it together." Accountability is alignment, excuses are misalignment. Section 3. Guilt versus shame. Shame says, "I am wrong." Guilt says, "I did wrong." The red flag is when guilt morphs into shame and eats away at your self-worth. The green flag is when guilt inspires humility, apology, and transformation. Spiritually, guilt is a teacher, shame is a jailer. Section 4. Red flags of manipulated guilt. Have you noticed how some people use guilt as a weapon? A red flag is when guilt is forced onto you for things you haven't done. False accusations, emotional blame games, silent treatments that make you doubt yourself. That's not divine guilt, that's manipulation. The green flag. True guilt makes space for honesty, healing, and reconciliation. Section 5. Green flags of healthy guilt. Healthy guilt is gentle. It says, "I could have done better," not "I am unworthy." The green flag is when guilt leads to apology, forgiveness, and change. It's constructive, not destructive. It lifts your vibration back towards love. Section 6. Guilt across cultures. In many traditions, guilt is sacred. In Christianity, guilt is a call to repentance. In Buddhism, it's a reminder not to harm others. In African traditions, guilt means you've broken harmony with your ancestors. The red flag is when guilt becomes fear and superstition. The green flag is when guilt reconnects you to community, ancestors, and truth. Section 7. The energy of secrets. Here's a red flag. When guilt hides behind excuses. Phone glitches, disappearing acts, contradictions. These create more guilt energy in the aura. Spirit feels it even if the mouth denies it. The green flag. Radical honesty, where nothing needs deleting or hiding. Section 8. Ancestral guilt. Some of us carry guilt that isn't ours. A red flag is when you feel guilt with no cause in your own life. It's often ancestral trauma echoing down generations. The green flag is when you acknowledge it and break the cycle through prayer, ritual, and release. Section 9. Guilt in dreams. Dreams reveal hidden guilt. Being chased, losing teeth, drowning in dirty water. These are red flags from your subconscious. The green flag is when your dream transforms into light, forgiveness, or cleansing water. Dreams show whether guilt is binding or releasing you. Section 10. The red flag cycle. Watch out for this. Red flag guilt often comes in cycles. Someone hurts you, denies it, flips it back on you, then apologizes. That's a loop of guilt used as control. The green flag is consistency. Words and actions lining up, trust restored without endless doubt. Section 11. Forgiveness as a green flag. Forgiveness doesn't excuse the wrong. It releases the weight. The red flag is when guilt becomes punishment without end. The green flag is when forgiveness brings peace to both sides and clears the karmic slate. Section 12. Guilt and the higher self. Red flag. Guilt keeps you stuck in the lower self, jealous, fearful, suspicious. Green flag guilt helps you rise into king or queen energy, accountable, honest, and aligned. Section 13. Guilt as spiritual warfare. Sometimes guilt isn't even from within. It's projected by others or even spiritual forces trying to drag you off your path. That's a red flag. when guilt doesn't bring clarity, just confusion. The green flag is discernment, knowing which guilt is yours to carry and which is not. Section 14, turning guilt into growth. Shadow work is where guilt transforms. Journal it. Meditate on it. Speak truth. That's the green flag. The point guilt becomes growth. The red flag is running from guilt, letting it fester into lies or manipulation. Section 15, final reflection and call to action. So the question isn't, do you feel guilty? The question is, what kind of guilt is guiding you? Red flag guilt will chain you down. Green flag guilt will point you to freedom. Thank you for being here. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed guilt showing up as a teacher in your life, or as a trap? We read every comment, and your stories help build this community. Don't forget to like this video if it brought you value, subscribe if you haven't already, and join us on this mission to 2,000 subscribers. You are part of this journey, and together we're uncovering the deepest spiritual meanings of life. Until next time, peace, blessings, and higher vibrations.